يسرنا الآن أن نقدم جلسة نقاشية بعنوان من قلب دبي تمكين الحياة من خلال الجهود الإنسانية. ينضم إلينا كل من السيد فرهاد Azizi الرئيس التنفيذي لمجموعة عزيزي للتطوير العقاري، الدكتور مهدي الفردان رئيس مجلس إدارة مركز الخليج الدولي للسرطان، البروفيسور خالد المري رئيس الرابطة الدولية لإدارة المشاريع في الإمارات IPMA بروفيسور في الجامعة البريطانية في دبي، الدكتور وليد Al Ali الأمين العام وعضو مجلس إدارة المدرسة الرقمية مؤسسة مبادرات محمد بن راشد المكتوم العالمية. كما يسرنا دعوة المحاورة لهذه الجلسة السيدة جورجيا تولي، فليتفضلوا مشكورين.
Good afternoon, Excellencies. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to join you today, and I am truly delighted to be hosting this panel of eminent speakers at such a landmark event. As we know, Dubai has positioned itself not just as an economic powerhouse, but also as a global force for humanitarian impact. Joining me here on stage are four thought leaders who span real estate, development, healthcare, education, and project management, each bringing hands-on experience in delivering large-scale, purpose-driven initiatives. Talking about the MBR Endowment District in Dubai, we have Mr. Farhad Azizi, who is Group CEO of Azizi Group. We have Dr. Mahdi Al Fardan, who is Chairman of the Board for the Gulf International Cancer Centre. Talking about the Project Management Academy, we have Professor Khalid Al Marri. He is IPMA President for the UAE. He's also a professor at British University, Dubai. And also we have Dr. Waleed Al Ali. He is Secretary General and Board Member of the Digital School for the MBR Initiatives. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. Farhad, I'm going to start with you, if that's okay, because Azizi Group is involved in several impactful projects across Dubai. I'm interested to know how you align your humanitarian initiatives with Dubai's sort of grand vision for global solidarity and that, in sustainable development.
Well, thanks for the question. Good afternoon. Our story, the Azizi family story, is a bit unique. We originally from Afghanistan, a war-torn country. We came to Dubai many years ago, over 30 years ago, with almost nothing. And since then, we have been quite successful in the city in Dubai, and the leadership here has helped us tremendously with that. So for us, it's an obligation. We feel very good giving back. So we've been doing it for many years, as far as I can remember, discreetly. But just before COVID, we made it more public in hopes to attract others to do the same. And so we've been more open about it. And so far, just in Dubai, we have donated almost 4 billion dirhams, and different, it goes all the way from sports to institutions like the Rashid Center or the Mother's Endowment, the Father's Endowment, the 1 billion meal. So it's something as a family we've always got together, and we have said, it's time to give back. And obviously, it takes a lot of hard work. We all want to have a little bigger bank balance and another car and another house, but you have to have the heart to give back as well. And it's been good for us. I personally think that in the time where technology has been making our lives so comfortable, we are becoming quite isolated, where you can be at home and order everything at the convenience. We're losing touch with the humanity. I think it's so important to connect back to the society and give back, and that empathy must stay alive. And I personally think that's absolutely important.
I mean, the most extraordinary commitment there, an amazingly philanthropic family. It's wonderful to hear about the work you've done there, and I know that part of that is partnering with, for example, the various campaigns that the MBR work on, including the Mother's Endowment campaign. And Dr. Mahdi, I know that Al Fardan Group are also greatly involved with campaigns such as the Mother's Endowment campaign. I'm interested to know how you sustain those multi-year campaigns, because sometimes it must be difficult to keep that momentum moving.
Actually, it is difficult. I mean, for us as a group, we are committed to charity for a very long time. Why would anybody pay for charity? Like, you cannot force anybody to pay to charity. I mean, Mr. Farhad, when he mentioned that, it's their obligation. They wanted to do it. It's not they've been forced to do it. You cannot force people, but when people want to do something for a charity or to donate, they think about the purpose, and they believe in that purpose, and they believe in that cause, and they believe in the entity that's handling the issue. So it's a trust. You're building a trust. The entity will build the trust by doing, that's what's happening to us, that MBR Foundation always updating us. They're telling us what's going on, what they're doing, so whenever you get an engagement between us and them, we feel we're actually part owner and we're not just a beneficiary, and that's an ownership. And it's a pride for us. I mean, as Mr. Farhad said, the MBR endowment, when they did the city, the idea of sustainability, that's another attraction to us. When you have any project that's going to sustain for the next few generations, as it will generate funds and charity for here, for outside as well, and that's what we're interested in, and that's what we're committed to that because of this situation. Apart from that, that's it's love. It's love to the charity. I mean, we made our fortune in this city. We give back to this city, and that's our job.
It is amazing that if you sort of research the amount of philanthropy that is coming out of the Gulf, people from the UAE are some of the world's biggest givers, and it is amazing to have so many of those individuals on our stages today here at this event. Farhad, I know that Professor Khalid, as president of the Project Management Association in the UAE, how do you, moving away from the sort of purely philanthropic role, how do you see project management principles actually driving these humanitarian efforts and making sure that they're impactful? Because it's one thing to give, but it is another to give with purpose and to give with impact.
Thank you very much, Georgia, and hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Well, I'll talk about project management in general because we all serve the same purpose. IPMA, PMI, APM, we all are doing the same service. So project management is actually about bringing discipline to the professions. So you have focused approach on resource management, stakeholder management, risk mitigation, inclusivity, equity. So this is where the area related to underserved communities and humanitarian efforts are overlapping with the profession. Project management itself, became standardized in the 60s. IPMA was launched in 1965. PMI was launched in 1969. So all of that is because after World War II, all countries, all professions were looking for standardized practice where they can do the same thing, have a shared vision, have defined scopes, defined roles, so they can apply accountability wherever they deploy these roles. So these standards are the principles of how to deploy all of our activities, whatever activity it is, whatever profession or industry it is, and how to embed sustainability, humanitarian efforts. It's all the same approach, because at the end, you want to reach your objective, and you want to reach value created. You don't just want to create a product. Now, in agile project management, that's the trend for the past 10 years, where you allow the stakeholders, not only the donors and sponsors, but also the end users, to be part of the decision-making of the product development. So once it's completed, it is serving the purpose, and they own it once it is completed. So where it fits in the humanitarian initiatives, it is really fitting the purpose at the end, where they really make use of it, be proud of it, and utilize it to expand on it in future situations where the government in Dubai doesn't have to respond to emergencies as such in the future, because you will build the capacity to mitigate it and reduce it if it happens in the future.
It's fascinating to hear there of the methodology behind giving. I think many of us don't really consider that unless, of course, you're from the sector, and I know many people in our audience are from that industry. And an added component to that, of course, now is the digital component. And Dr. Waleed, I'm very interested to learn a bit more about the digital school and how it aligns with Dubai's vision for global solidarity when it comes to these transformative humanitarian efforts that we've been hearing about.
Well, in Digital School is one of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed global initiatives. It was born in COVID, so November 2020, and the idea was simple: how we can really leverage and make education more accessible and more affordable and faster in pace at globally. Globally, you have more than 250 million children out of education, and we added skilling to that. So this was the merit behind Digital School, and the mandate was, we need you to build the model that make education more affordable, more accessible, faster pace, and the solution to that was digital. Digital helped us across all sectors. Let's make it a tool that will make education available to every child, skilling available to every youth around the world. And from there we started to build Digital School. And alhamdulillah, today we are proud that Digital School is serving more than 8,000 beneficiaries from around the world, from 39 countries, in 7 languages. And we could have never done that without the power of technology. Now we are also academically accredited, which was the first in the world to have an accreditation for digital education within a marginalized context. How this fits within Dubai vision and model of solidarity, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed is a visionary leader, and Dubai is not only a hub for business, it's not a hub for tourism, it's also a hub for humanitarian. There are many initiatives. The Dubai International Humanitarian Agency, the biggest hub in the world for humanitarian response. There is a specialization in everything done in Dubai. There is a special initiative for eye treatment, for water, and digital education was one of the ways that how can we be in Dubai innovative and giving a world a solution that will solve one of its key challenges, education. So this is the background and the how Digital School is driving the frontiers of digital education for marginalized communities.
It's such an amazing initiative. You know, the idea that so many children are being educated around the world as a credit to the digital school is really, truly wonderful. Let's talk a little bit more about the Mohammed bin Rashid Endowment District specifically, Farhad, because that is an example of where you guys are really putting your money where your mouth is. It is a $1 billion dirham humanitarian project, but interestingly, it's right here in Dubai. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that hub for philanthropy is going to really change things in the future?
So the key word here is sustainable, and sustainability. And this,
Yeah.
what my colleagues here also mentioned. There's a saying, I don't know, remember it word by word, but it says, give a man a fish and he's happy, or eats for a day. Teach him fishing and he fishes the rest of his life and he's okay. So the project was based on this theory where the MBR district is self-sustainable, where there are around 2,000 apartments. There is 2 schools, which is supporting the medical facility. So the medical facility includes hospital, a major focus is on treating cancer. And so the whole idea is healthcare and providing affordable healthcare, but a really good high-level healthcare, but still affordable. And it has to stay on for years and years, and where the real estate assets will fund it, as these hospitals will have cost, and so it's sustainable, and this can go on if it's managed properly, and that's why there's a board that's being created, and the construction will start soon, so we're at the final stages of the design. So that's where, and we came up with this idea a year ago when we went through a personal loss. I lost a 32-year-old young sister to cancer, and we went through everything, but you know, it didn't work. But that's when we realized that, okay, the Azizi family could afford all the cost, but there's a lot of people that cannot afford all of that. So we thought it's important to have something especially targeting cancer, and so the idea initiated from there, and the best thing about it is that it's sustainable. It's something that can go on by itself. It doesn't have to be a one-time payment and then you forget about it. It's actually it's like a clock, just goes on and on. So that's how the setup is.
It's a very clever way of structuring the costs that of course you'll have for the hospital. It's a brilliant idea. It's bringing that business mindset in some ways to the philanthropic space, which is such a successful way, you know, with the right emotion behind it. That's such a successful way.
We have a good team, including Dr. Mehdi with us. So.
Well, exactly, yes. I mean, we need to hear from Dr. Mahdi now, you know, following on from what Farhad has just described. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, the healthcare and the education component of that endowment district? Because, of course, you are our resident cancer expert.
Well, I'm not, I mean, a cancer expert, as I built cancer centers in UK and in here. My concept from the beginning, actually, I had a similar concept in our cancer center. We're a non-profit organization. We just do not make profit from these centers. We just, whatever profit we make, we treat patients who cannot pay for it. So when I was brought in, and that the idea was we want to do a non-for-profit organization, and that was actually fit my passion. And they were really generous enough to donate that amount of money to create a huge hospital, and they wanted to make a full-fledged hospital with a cancer center. Yes, it's possible that you can make it self-sustained, because in this country or in this model, we have an insurance paying, we have self-paying, and that's the profit from that. We can actually use it to treat patients who cannot afford it. And you have the entire city is a charity, actually. The entire city is, no, let's not call it charity, it's a non-profit organization. So the funds has been gathered from all these businesses, activities, and then you can recycle it. You either can give it to people who need, or to make a new cities like that somewhere else and just generate more funds.
It's amazing to hear the work you're doing. Professor Waleed, let's hear a little bit more about the Project Management Academy within
So we both answer.
the digital school. Yeah, I swapped you around, because it is a really groundbreaking initiative. Could you talk us through how the idea came about, how it's being implemented, and you know, where it's operating, ultimately who's going to benefit?
Okay.
Are you going to share it?
So, if the Project Management Academy is a new initiative that we did at the digital school, and the idea I mentioned, digital school was doing school education programs at scale globally. But then we realized that there are many potentials to build on, because we've trained many teachers globally, more than 30,000 teachers being certified by Arizona State University through our program. So it's okay, how can we leverage the power of digital education to skill youth to access skills? And this is where we launched an initiative called Skilled Academies. It's 8 virtual academies in hospitality, logistics, facility management, healthcare, and project management. And project management was very critical for us, because people assume if you have an engineer, then you are good, but you need an engineer who know how to manage the project well. And for the first time ever, we collaborated with IPMA to do an entry-level track for associate project manager that will allow them to have the basic skills that they need to manage whatever they are working on and whatever junior level jobs that they have. So this is where we came with this collaboration with an international organization like IPMA to build a project management academy and offer these programs across the world at scale with the path to be a professional. And of course, Dr. Khalid know the details behind it, and we are leveraging their power and global presence to offer it at the global stage.
Yeah, I'm very interested to dig into the practicalities of that again with you, Professor Khalid. You know, you led the establishment, you know, of the region's very first academic project management program. You know, that was a new benchmark for professional alignment and market relevance here in the UAE. So in this context, what role does the IPMA play in the Project Management Academy, and how does it help maintain those standards in practice? Because obviously it's a digital program, but you want it to have exactly the same standards as you would if you were going to study.
Well, that was the starting point.
Yeah.
It was like, since you've established that, can we establish this? So we had a discussion. We had our research conference in April, and we invited Dr. Waleed to be a speaker, and he spoke about the underserved communities and the academies. And he started asking, can you do something? And the board of IPMA was here in Dubai for the first time in the Middle East. So it was coinciding with the conference, and we flicked the idea, and we said, okay, these are underserved communities, which means maybe they have zero education. So it is a new area that was never looked by certifying bodies across the board. It's always a certain degree that will start the certification path. So in IPMA, we have 4 levels, but it starts, of course, with education. They can, for underserved communities, they stand no chances to enter at all. So Dr. Waleed was asking, can we come with a 5th layer? And we said, okay, but we have to find what kind of qualifications we can put in. He said, look, we're not trying to certify engineers or project managers. These people will be assistants, so it will be assistant role. So can we do something about that layer? It's never done in the world, really. So it was a new initiative. It was challenging, and we didn't know what we were looking at. So back at IPMA, and back and forth talking with the digital school, we came up with a model, and we presented it to the digital school, and it is 6 micro-credentials. Each micro-credential will be 20 teaching hours and 10 hours of exercise. To make our life easier, they suggested we use their LMS system and to record the sessions, so all trainees will pace themselves, and then they will reach the point of the certification. Now, this certification, what is it worth? So we had to talk to IPMA, and we say, how do we link it to the certification system that you have? So the recommendation from the digital school is that we want these people to be very proud about their certification as much as the people at the top. So we want the real people who created the manuals for IPMA to create it for the underserved communities, to sign them off, and even to give a recorded speech for inaugural sessions. When they start, they will talk to the real people, the pioneers of project management in the world. Not all of them, but of course they are pioneers. So we came to this point. They wanted a pilot, and you know, pilot in Dubai, you know, is very fluid term. So we said, pilot of how many? And they said, pilot of 10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
Most people pilot with about 10.
Same here. My expectation was less. So they said, this is Dubai. After the pilot, each year we want to do, or we want to certify and train 100,000. So this is the plan, and this is the Dubai scale. I can proudly announce that after this session, And I want really to thank the generosity of RTA. They will fund the first 10,000 in Africa, and the signing will happen at 2 o'clock, and I'll pass it to the champion of this initiative to talk a little about it.
I mean, that is absolutely remarkable. How have you managed to turn this around so quickly, sir?
Well, I think every organization, they have this human willingness to give and contribute. It's all how you engage with them and connect with them. And we saw this with IPMA, and we saw the opportunity. And we believe one of the biggest challenges in developing nations is lack of management skills. You know, even if you do huge humanitarian project, you need proper project management, from entry-level jobs to the senior jobs. And this is where we said, let's start at entry-level job with the path to be certified project manager. And we thank RTA for their support in this. And it reflects really the theme of the conference this year, Bridging Communities. Dubai is a hub to bridge communities. Dubai model is very brave in terms of how we try to scale things and how to be really brave in terms of making impact. It's not even business, also humanitarian side.
We get a sense there of the various different ways in which Dubai is innovating, or people who are based in Dubai are innovating. There's several different verticals in philanthropy, each as clever and innovative as each other. With just minutes to spare, we've got about a minute each, if that's okay. I've got a final quickfire question for you all. You know, you've all described the extent to which Dubai has become and, you know, continues to grow as a global leader in these innovative humanitarian efforts. What would you say makes the Emirates approach to humanitarian work so distinctive? I'm going to start with you.
I think if I would put it in one word, it would be the leadership here in this city. The leadership puts their words into action here. It's not theories and winning election after 4 years kind of thing. They actually are helping, very transparent, and that allows private businesses, private individuals, government institutions, everybody to join hands, unite, and make things happen. So that's quite different and unique. And when it comes to giving back to the community, it doesn't have to be in forms of money. You can give your time. I mean, the fact that we're here, we're giving something back. You can share your knowledge. You can give your, you know, you don't have to be, like, it doesn't have to be always a cash.
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't. It can be
but the one thing that makes it special here is the leadership. The leadership allows it to make it happen, and that's important.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, I mean, he said a big word. I cannot come up with a bigger word than that. After the leadership, I mean, he's absolutely right. You have the innovation. Like, you have to come with how to create a system for sustainability of charity or for any other projects in Dubai. And you see there's a lot of innovation here. Mm-hmm. I think Dubai has an advantage of the innovation.
Thank you, sir.
Well, Dubai is known for its humanitarian efforts, and it is really a distinctive approach that we have here in Dubai. So it's not only the relief and the immediate response that Dubai thinks about, it is actually the sustainability of the solutions in the future and building the capacity. So in the future, these problems will be less, and once they occur, there will be local people to deal with them, and there will be a better management of the funds to be circulated elsewhere where it's needed. So this sustainable ecosystem will serve in the future as the relief rather than the rapid responses that are required now, and that's a model that is Dubai teaching.
Well, I think three things maybe kind of, I believe they are principles. First, the UAE was established on a strong belief of giving. The late Sheikh Zayed established it at a very difficult phase where you're establishing the UAE as a new nation. Donations started to happen globally, and UAE now is among the top nations in terms of giving. The second thing, generosity and giving and human first is embedded into the UAE DNA. And if you tell me how, I'll tell you, look at the UAE vision principles for the next 50 years. Humanitarian is one of the key principles, clearly mentioned that at national level. Also, if you look at all the projects and campaigns and examples being here, it's not only government, it's government, people, private sector, businesses, local and international. It's kind of contagious. We are trying to make it more contagious, and also being brave and innovative, because this sector always claimed to be behind, and we are trying to drive the frontiers of innovation in humanitarian work. The endowment district and all other projects are trying to push the boundaries to make a better world.
Leadership, innovation, ambition, scope and scale. It really has been a wonderful conversation with all four of you. Thank you very much for representing the face of philanthropy in the UAE and the wider field for us today. A round of applause for our amazing panelists. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. It's been a great pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you to our audience as well.